Yeah.
For 10 minutes, 25 years about these people.
Welcome to a special episode.
This
I
is
don't even
very special.
I don't even know what to call this. It's probably going to become a series, but it's basically going to be like 10 to 15 minutes of us just ranting about tags and
Just
stuff. Because some of the funniest stuff we ever say comes out of this. And
oh yeah.
we always enjoy doing this kind of thing. So if you don't enjoy it, then just don't watch it. That's okay. I understand. But at the same time, this is probably some of the funniest stuff that we'll do. But anyway, yeah.
Well, let's start with France because, my God,
Yeah. We were just
there's
talking about
so
the
much to choose from.
yeah, we were just talking about the SAU 40, and first of all,
Oh
the
God,
freaking engine.
look at that.
It's like
Go to it.
it's like 25 liters. I'm looking at it right now. It's 4.5 feet tall, freaking, or at least let's say this
Fucking
guy's 6 foot.
huge.
It's a massive V8, and the thing's still
Makes
slow.
Makes 168 horsepower.
I know.
They didn't even try. They were just like, let's just make it huge.
Yeah.
And maybe something will happen. Maybe it'll be good. It's not good.
And it's still slow. Like, it only weighs 24 tons, and it's still slow. It's so slow. And, you know,
But
and
my favorite part, my personal favorite, is the gun barrel on the thing. It's just massive. Like, that is a ridiculously thick gun barrel. What has a thicker gun barrel than that?
you know, I don't know.
Doesn't
But
it
I
doesn't
have
exist.
I have two theories on this, though. And one is, first of all, that maybe the French were just really smart and knew a ton about barrel harmonics, and were like, let's just make it as thick as possible so that we have the most accurate gun in history. But that
Which
doesn't
it
seem
isn't. It's not good.
it doesn't seem
That's
realistic.
not French at all.
That doesn't seem realistic.
French
So instead,
don't think that way.
I'm thinking it's more a situation where the factory just cast this massive barrel, so you can make like a 35, a 50 millimeter, a 75, or 105 millimeter just by drilling the barrel out thicker, or the barrel diameter out bigger. But I think that's probably a good theory, but I imagine it's probably just the French being stupid and being like, let's just make it super thick for no reason whatsoever.
Why not? And also, if you go to X-Ray War Thunder, this is probably more War Thunder's fault, but those are not 75 millimeter shells. Those are the same shells that are in the crappy little low BR French 37 millimeter guns.
That would fit down that barrel like a hot dog down a hallway.
If you go to armor and you actually hover over the barrel, it says it's 30 millimeters, only 30. And I was saying, if that's 30 millimeters, then my dick is like 6 feet long. There is no way in hell that's 30 millimeters. That is, oh my
man.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, you could armor plate the mouse with two of those welded together. That's ridiculous.
And we were also talking about the ARL-44, or at least the ARL-44 ACL-1. And,
the bad one.
Yeah, the bad one.
Well, it's not bad, but
And we were talking about how, like, it's a pretty good tank. It really is.
It really is.
Like the engine, for example, it's like probably I'll put a range like 8.5 to 11 liter V8, something like that, maybe V12.
Pretty small.
It's pretty small, but it makes 531 horsepower. That's pretty good. That's like almost Germany standards. But why would they? Why is there a mechanical drive for the turret? What is the point?
Who does that?
That doesn't make any sense. Like
this
Carter.
This is the French at peak Frenchness. Because why would you do that?
And Carter.
Why not? We're French. It doesn't make a difference.
And Carter can vouch for me. Like I am the king when it comes to mechanics. Like I think everything should be done mechanically. No electronics. No any of that. This should be done hydraulically. It's just stupid to do it any other way. It's just stupid.
No reason. Also, for reference, that is a 75 millimeter shell. That is what a 75 looks like.
Yeah.
Not whatever was in the SAU 40. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
It ain't 75. Oh, but this is a good tank.
Yeah, it is a good tank. I really think
massive tank.
Yeah.
But good.
47 tons. Yeah. The other one's 50. You said, right?
Yeah, it's a
So
good one.
the
That's a good tank.
now, as far as we
That's
know,
awesome.
this tank was at least originally designed late war and built 1949 and after. And that's a pretty reasonable estimate because, I mean, it's got really good armor, sloped armor, which means it was made probably after 1943. The cast hull, which means it was probably, or cast turret, which means it was probably built prior to 1950, or at least designed prior to 1950. And there's a lot of other things. They retained the World War One style French tracks, which I'm sure work, but just look dumb.
Stupid.
and
Why?
so overall, I think it's a really good tank, but yeah, that's just weird. And I don't know what this is. What is this? Is this like an attempt at a radiator, or
What are you
what
looking
is
at?
this? The piping, the weird piping that goes off. They've got like 70 exhaust pipes or something. I don't know quite what it is, but on the left-hand side of the rear of the tank.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't know what the hell
Like,
that is.
what is that? I don't know. That can't be individual pipes per cylinder, can it? One, two, three,
No.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not a V16. It's definitely not a V16. So nope, that's not the case. That's just something weird.
French. If you
but
don't understand something and it's French, it's just because it's French.
yeah,
There's no other reason.
yeah, pretty much, pretty
What else
much.
we got? Oh my God! Do the AMX the AMX 13 with the Chafee turret on it.
Oh, which
That's
one's
my
that?
favorite.
What?
It's in a premium.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, look at
Just
that.
look at it. Just look at it.
It looks like a
Why
backwards
is it
tank.
up 15? It is a backwards tank. Why is the turret up 19 feet above the actual hull? First of all, oh my lord.
And the funny thing is
And
too, I was thinking like, oh, they just figured out that the Chaffee turret is the same diameter as the hull. No, they didn't. They
no.
literally built an adapter for it.
Why? What caused them to be like, we got all these Chafies lying around. Or excuse me, we have all the Chafies lying around. Let's put them on this.
That's offensive.
No, it's not offensive.
Nah, it'll be fine.
This
That's
is
whatever.
offensive. Looking
Yeah.
at this is offensive. Good God. Because if you wanna show them what it's supposed to look like, the actual French
Oh yeah.
made this, the real AMX-13. That looks
French.
somewhat normal. It does look French, but it's somewhat normal. But why would you put a Chafee turret on
And
it?
the other thing is too, like this is a decent tank. I mean, you got what,
It
20
is.
millimeters at 66 degrees.
It's a
That's
good
pretty
light
decent.
tank.
40 millimeters on the turret at 46 and 38. That's not so good. But you got more armor back there.
It's a light tank. Whatever.
Yeah, it's a I mean, it's supposed to be fast, and it is fast.
Yeah,
37 miles an hour.
it is.
240 horsepower. But why would you do this? Like you're just putting less armor at less of a slope on a tank that was already pretty decent.
Yeah.
And the gun, like, I
Why?
doubt the gun's much better, if anything. Let's see.
No,
91,
it's not. I think it's the same actually.
104 with the Chaffee, and then the other one is 91.
I think it's the same.
Yeah, 91 and 104. It's the same gun, even.
But it's not the same gun
Oh, is it not the same?
because it says it's not the same, but it does the same. Yeah, because that's an SA-49 cannon, and I don't know what that has. The Chafee has a M6 cannon. So they are completely different, but they do exactly the same.
Yep. So literally all they did was they were like, okay, we've got all these turrets lying around that have less angle and less armor than the turret that we specially designed for this tank. So let's put it on there.
Let's
No
strap
reason.
it on. Let's do it. They must have just been broke.
Yeah,
And had
no.
Chafies lying around. God. All right.
The other
what
thing,
else we got?
let's go over the EBR, just cause why not?
Oh
right?
yes, because I was actually going to talk about this. Why are the middle tires tractor tires from like turn of the century tractors? Just the middle ones, none of the other ones.
Well,
And
I kind of. Sorry.
And everything else is normal. What the hell is that?
So from what I understand, one of the reasons for this, now this may be completely incorrect because I just heard this from one of my friends. I don't know this for a fact. I did not do any research, but from what I understand, the center wheels can lift up for road driving. And so they
Oh,
drive on the
really?
tires. Yeah, so they drive on the tires when they're on the road. But when they get off road, the two center wheels drop down, and then they drive with all four wheels. And so if you pop a
Oh.
tire, you have the steel wheels when you're off road. You know.
Ah.
But
Look at the French being
now, and
sensible.
if that's the case, then that's smart. But you would never want to drive with these on a road. If you can't lift those up, I don't. That's just
Even if you
stupid to me.
could, you hit a bump. Like, what's gonna happen?
And the other thing that I'm wondering is like, is there a lock or an unlock for these? Like, there must be. Like you can't just leave them turning when they're up. So you gotta have like an unlock for them or something.
Yeah.
And that's more complexity. Like, why even do it? Why not just put four tires? I mean, you have less chance of popping all four tires on one side than you do of popping one anyway. So you're just reducing your your road driving capability, and you're making it more likely that you pop the majority of the tires on one side.
I would like to draw attention to the the plight of the poor driver in this thing.
Oh yeah.
He is crammed, number one, complete like a sardine,
Yeah.
and he's in between two fuel tanks filled with gasoline to the brim, I imagine, and then ammunition as padding. If
Oh
they
my
get hit,
gosh.
that man is dead.
Yes. Yeah. Well, what
And I'm
about
sure
this
he
guy in
would
the
want to be.
back? Look at the loader. The loader is just another driver in the other side. Like,
What's
that's
he
just
doing?
that's just the way it is.
Put it in reverse, Francois. I got it. I can drive it from back here. Oh my! And look
I,
at the
I,
engine. The engine is at 0 degrees, or excuse
yeah,
me, 180 degrees. Cylinder
it's a
plane. What the hell's that?
yeah, it's a flat engine. How many cylinders? It looks like one, two, three, four, five, six. It looks like 12 cylinders, flat 12. That's actually
Oh my!
probably an engineering masterpiece on French
That's
terms.
pretty good. Oh
To be
yeah.
completely honest, I'm sure that's a pretty advanced. Well, it doesn't look advanced, but it looks air
It
cooled. It's
it is.
definitely
They got
overhead
cool
valve.
radiators. Yeah.
Let's see. What can I tell just by looking at the War Thunder rendition of it?
No power.
Oh, Peter's online, so that's great. And we've got like 2 minutes, so perfect. I'll text him back real quick. You
We
got
gotta do
anything
this
else on
again.
this? Pardon?
I I don't think so. We'll have to do Japan and China after this because they're a story on their own.
Yeah, I know. There's got to be one more tank
Oh,
you can do in
actually,
2 minutes.
just any of the high BR things with the turret. Why did they make a turret like this? Who? What? I don't get it. Like what? Was
Like the
something
Char
wrong?
25T or something?
Yeah. Or the AMX-50. Anything. Anything. Why? What is the reason that you made a turret like this? There's no conceivable need.
I
Why
mean,
is the bottom flat?
I like it a lot personally.
I
Now
like it
this is just
too,
me.
but why?
Well, because well, one, I mean, you got to think about this from an engineer's perspective. One, obviously the armor's super sloped, and you've got very little chance of a shell going through and doing any significant damage in weird places with a turret like this. Honestly, from the front, this is probably one of the best turret designs for a tank, with it being like this.
Sure.
But and then you got to think about it like you got to have it placed backwards like this because you got to be able to counterbalance the weight of the gun. It's got to move the whole weight of the gun. There's no
Hello.
mantlet or anything.
Oh, I'll be down.
So
Yeah.
so you got to be able to counterbalance the weight of the gun. You got to have that axis further forward so you can put weight back here. But from the side and the back, it's probably not such a great design. But most likely, you're not going to be in real life. You're not going to be fighting tanks from the back and side unless you have a commander that's really damn smart. In War Thunder, when you can see from a third-person view and all that, then we can kind of get behind tanks and understand. And we're damn lucky. We can see around buildings. We can do all this stuff.
Yeah.
They can't do this
Exactly.
in real life. And so realistically speaking, unless you're super unlucky, you're not going to be seeing this thing in the rear. And from the front, it's a really good design. That's all I got to say
It
on it.
is.
So,
It is. It just
except the cupola. The
makes my
cupola is
brain.
stupid.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. But it just makes me just what? Who was the French guy that came up with this? It was like, you know what? The rest of the world are not at all doing this. Not even close. Let's do it. Let's just because we're French. Why the hell not?
Yep. Well,
That seems
anyway,
good to me.
this
I'm
has
French.
been. I don't know what to call it yet, so I'm just gonna say
Ranting.
ranting
Just
with
call it
Carter.
ranting.
Yeah, just ranting about War Thunder with Carter.
And call the last video Vive la France.
Yeah, yeah, I
Because
will. I will. All right. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Give us any notes if you have anything on on our play or whatever. Just give us anything in the comments below. We really could use it, especially me. And yeah, yeah.
rant in
And
the comments too. That's always fun to listen to.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just
Get the
people
comments
rant
going.
in the War Thunder chat every now and then. I always love that.
Well, all right. I'll talk to you guys in the
Adios.
next one. Bye.